Well, he doesn't have to. Number one, you don't work here. It's not your right to be asking around.
It's not my right?
No, it's not.
Why not? You're going to give me a ticket.
As a matter of fact, you are going to jail.
Oh, that's even better.
Yep.
Goes around, comes around, and both him and his dog are going to suffer rotten lives.
Guys, today we're about to take it back, way back. Now, a few years ago when I was first finding my footing here on YouTube, there was a word that was basically synonymous with my channel. And if you've been watching for a while, then I'm sure you already know what word I'm talking about. If you happen to not know what word I'm talking about, then hey, no big deal, no hard feelings, just know I am gonna take a note of that. The word is Karen. There was a time on this channel that I was talking about so many Karens that some people began to call me the Karen connoisseur. Who called me that, you may ask? Well, I'm not sure they'd be comfortable with me sharing that information, so you're gonna have to figure that one out yourself. However, after a certain point, it just seemed like I couldn't find anything new. I think the public shaming of the Karen type actually kind of worked, because we just started gradually seeing less of these Karen interactions until they just stopped popping up. So against my will, I was forced to hang up the Karen hat. That was until today, my friends, when I came across one of the worst social interactions I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, I'm sure some of you guys have already seen this video, but if you haven't, it's this woman who got arrested for kicking a man with a service dog because she didn't believe it was a service dog. And during this entire 15 minutes of body cam footage, this woman sees absolutely nothing wrong with what she did. She fights tooth and nail trying to defend herself for kicking this man because she didn't like the dog. I swear some people just like to be miserable, and this woman is a great example of that. And you're about to see it firsthand, so let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe. So the first few minutes of this video is just the guy with the service dog explaining his side of the story. Now, this man is a very animated speaker, so I'm gonna give you the short version of it. So basically, this man was walking his service dog without the normal service dog vest, which is not required anyways, and the woman took notice of this and was like, "What are you doing with the dog in here? That's not a real service dog. He doesn't have the things it's supposed to have." And he was basically just telling her to leave him alone, and if you don't like it, go get a cop. After he said that, the woman kicked him on the butt. Now, this man goes into a whole monologue about how if this was a man who did this, he would have flipped him upside down, pulled out his martial arts move, and disabled him. So I think that maybe there's a little bit to the other side of the story we're not getting, if I'm being honest. This guy doesn't sound like the most pleasant person to be around. Obviously, I'm not saying that's justification for assaulting somebody, but it's just something I thought I would mention.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
So the asshole really did call you, huh?
Yes.
Good.
What's going on?
Last fucking dog jumped on me. Afterwards, I kicked him in the ass.
You kicked
Okay?
who? You kicked
So
who?
what would you like to discuss?
What's the story?
What's the story? I asked the man why he had the dog in here. It's a service dog. Where's his jacket? Where's his proof? I don't have to show you. The law says I don't have to. I said, well, we'll go up to the desk then. I don't have to show them either. I said, because he's not a fucking service dog.
This is like arguing if you walk up to a person and ask to see their driver's license to prove they live in the state, and they don't show you, they probably don't live in the state. How do you make it to 80 years old and never get checked for this level of entitlement? Why would anybody need to prove to you, Virginia, a random woman who has nothing better to do with her days than complain, that their dog is a service dog when it is in fact not required to prove anything? This is like that whole argument that if you don't let a cop search your car, you probably have something to hide. No, you have legal rights. Why would you ever willingly forfeit them?
And then the dog jumped on me, so I turned around and I kicked him in the ass.
You have your ID on you?
He then presented this thing. I don't do this. I don't show this to people. But here's this thing. I said, shove it up your rear.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have to. Number one, you don't work here. It's not your right to be asking around.
It's not my right?
No, it's not.
This woman is pretty sarcastic, but I think this part is hilarious because she genuinely looks baffled at this cop saying this. What did you just say, officer? Are you saying it's not my right to go around making people divulge private information about their life simply because they're in my presence? Do you know who I am?
Oh, well, here.
I don't need your debit card. I need your ID.
Why not? You're going to give me a ticket.
As a matter of fact, you are going to jail.
Oh, that's even better.
Yep. So, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Give me.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Oh, wait. Can I put my wallet away?
It's crazy to me how these people who have had so much time on the planet to figure things out, still after 80 years, think they are the most important person on the entire planet. I guarantee you this woman wholeheartedly believes the entire universe revolves around her. I'd love to see her reaction if somebody kicked her in a grocery store. I wonder if she'd want them to get arrested.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you
How old are you?
I'm 80.
You're 80, acting like a 14-year-old.
Ah, well, you're like a nice kid.
Any weapons on you?
Yeah, my mouth.
I can see that.
You're just leaving that in the middle of the street? This is the biggest joke I've ever seen.
Okay, I know I'm kind of repeating myself here, but I just genuinely cannot even begin to fathom this. Like, one of the first things that a human learns when they're growing up is that you don't hit people. Like, even if you're a terrible parent, normally you get that one. I mean, that's one of the few agreed upon things across every human culture. You just don't hit people. How are you confused as a grown woman with 80 years of life experience that you're getting arrested for kicking somebody?
Walk over to my car.
Oh, no, it's not your car. It's my car. I pay taxes.
I pay taxes as well. Probably pay more taxes than you.
I doubt it. Why do I not have the right to question a person when the law says you can't have animals in supermarkets and stores? Tell me.
Service animals are exempt, and you're not allowed to
I
ask.
asked him if it was
You're
the
not allowed
service
to ask.
dog. Why?
Officer, I demand an answer. Why am I not allowed to assault a man when he does not give me private information that is protected by law? This is an injustice. I mean, what fantasy land is this woman living in? This can't be the only time she's done this, because clearly she works under the assumption that everybody owes her every bit of information she wants because she's a U.S. citizen, I guess, and it's her right to question anybody she deems fit. I wonder what else this woman has done that just hasn't been reported.
Because you're not allowed to. It's protected. There's people with disabilities. You didn't know that?
Because it's in his head. That's where his disability is. You know, this hurts.
It's not supposed to be comfortable.
Alright, so I'm not always the biggest fan of the boys in blue, but this guy, I like this guy. He's got that movie cop wit.
Was she yelling and screaming inside the store? Oh, yeah. Causing a scene? Oh, yeah. Other people were looking.
People can't treat other people like that. It's not right.
So he turned around to try to ignore her. She kicked him in the ass.
I mean,
She's saying that Doug jumped on her.
full shit. Let's say he did jump on her.
It still doesn't give her the right.
Well, let me tell you something else.
She kick you? Right on the
Right
butt?
there. Literally, right there in the tailbone.
Okay, look, obviously I feel for this guy, but I also think it's kind of hilarious that now there will forever be a video locked up in an evidence locker somewhere of this guy shoving his fingers up his butt crack. Or am I just immature?
I guess this car don't have air conditioning, huh?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I'm not back here.
Oh, what I can do for you, lower the window. Get some fresh air.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
I'm sure you were afraid I would try to get out if it had opened.
Yep. It's terrifying.
Goes around, comes around, and both him and his dog are going to suffer rotten lives.
Yeah, okay, so this woman might actually just be a psychopath. This man and his dog committed the crime of grocery shopping, and she's hoping they suffer rotten lives? A dog? Seriously? What is wrong with this woman? How do you end up this miserable? Seriously, this woman could sell a book of what she did in her life just so everybody can avoid doing those things. This is not normal behavior. Like, this actually needs to be checked out.
Him and his dog?
Him and his dog.
Well, that's not nice.
Tell you what, everything they say about police brutality is pretty true.
Is it?
I really don't think that these handcuffs have to be this tight and this uncomfortable. At least I made your day.
Actually, no, you ruined my day because we've been so busy and now I got to deal with you. Yep.
Better than go into an accident.
Well, now if people get into an accident now, they have nobody because I'm here.
You don't think this is a little ridiculous?
What is?
All this because I yelled at some guy in the store and kicked him in the...
That's a crime.
How can you break, sir?
This is honestly one of the most frustrating things I've ever seen, because I can tell just by listening to this woman that if somebody kicked her, she would be in court pushing for the death penalty. Don't you think this is ridiculous? Give me a break. For what? You assaulted somebody for no reason. This is no different than walking up to somebody saying, hey, can I see your ID? And then kicking them because they say no. How is this woman this ignorant? It's actually a little bit impressive that a person made it to this age being this clueless.
You can't ask a disabled person with a registered service dog.
The man is walking in an aisle with a dog. He has nothing on him that says he's
He doesn't have to. He's federally protected.
Well, how am I supposed to know?
Well, who are you?
Don't ask.
Who are you to be asking those questions? You don't work there. That's not your business. Should have just went.
You can't ask the person.
It's you don't work there. That's none of your business. Should have went about your day. Let the man do his thing, and if the store has a problem, they would have called us, not you. You can't just go up to people, confront them about having a dog in a store that you don't own.
I said to him, why do you have the dog in the store? What's wrong with that question?
This is actually insane. It's like this woman learned how to speak English but never learned how to understand it. She keeps asking the same exact question, and every time this guy explains it in further detail, and she just doesn't get it. She genuinely cannot understand why you can't question a person about their disability. And further, she doesn't understand why you can't assault them after they don't answer you. This woman needs to be locked away for her own safety. She is not fit to navigate the real world. So the rest of the video is essentially him just repeating himself over and over again, explaining to this woman why what she did was wrong and her not getting it. And then I think reality really started to set in for this woman. She started to ask about jail and the judge and what's gonna happen. And then she asked what happens if she just doesn't show up to court. So I don't think this woman really understands the severity of what she just did. I think she thinks this is like a traffic ticket or something. But right now she's facing assault and disorderly conduct charges. So Virginia's probably about to get more than a slap on the wrist. Well guys, what do you think about Miss Virginia here? Is she experiencing a true injustice not being allowed to kick random men in supermarkets? Because I know there's gonna be at least a few comments like that. Call me a hater, but I hope this woman gets a real reality check and not just a slap on the wrist, $200 fine or something. Let her go to jail for a few months. Understand that you can't just do whatever you want in this world with zero consequences. Only good things can come from fewer people walking around with that kind of mindset. Actions have consequences even for old people, Virginia. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
Subscribe.